Hello, and welcome to Scarlet Serpent readings. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Timeless Pick a Card reading, where we will be receiving words of inspiration from Archangel Metatron. So this is a very exciting reading, and of course I want to thank all of the subscribers and returning viewers for your support and patience, because I know I'm working on it. The frequency of my videos, I promise, but and I also want to apologize because I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I have tea there. But anyway, I very briefly wanted to give like an overview of Archangel Metatron, just for those who may not be as familiar with this archangel. He is actually Enoch transformed, so he's one of the only archangels who was human. He has a twin brother, Sandalphon, who is going to be present in this reading as well towards the end to help anchor in Metatron's energy, and that energy being extremely vibrant and extremely vibrant, very empowering. That's really an energy you would draw upon. Solar plexus energy of empowerment and inspiration. So this reading is going to be all about inspiration, his words of inspiration, and transforming that into a physical manifestation so that you could really shine your light and live in alignment with your life purpose, which is also what he's all about. And a little about Sandalphon, he's just a really nice grounding energy. Energetically, he feels a lot like Ganesha or Kali. I mean, they're different, obviously, but he's all about faith, and really an archangel who assists in carrying these prayers out to source, so that you could just pray and know that or set the intention as well. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be pray, but set that intention, know that it's being received and heard. So together, it's beautiful that yin and yang, they work together, where Archangel Metatron would be like the Keter at the top of the tree of life, the Kabbalah, and then Sandalphon would be at the bottom, and they work together to really form like your dream reality. So this is an exciting reading. I hope you enjoy it. I have 3 piles for you today, and so yeah, we have pile 1 here, and I'll just show you the stone up here up close so you can see it. This is angelite for pile 1. Pile 2 is, I think it's calcite. I think it's blue calcite. For pile number 2, and then pile number 3 is going to be the sunstone. Okay, so take your time. We have all 3 piles here. You could pause the video if you need to. Of course, the timestamps are going to be in the description box, and I look forward to seeing you at your reading. Okay, hi pile 1, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the angelite stone, this is going to be for you. Empowering, inspiring messages from Archangel Metatron on how you could make your reality manifest, your inspiration manifest in reality. I have a couple of oracle cards out already for you, and then I'll dive into the tarot, and then we'll get a little bit of closing messages from Archangel Sandalphon to help anchor those into reality. Interesting cards you have here, I'll say, because you have the solar plexus, yeah, definitely, golden solar dragon, which helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. And then we have new dawn, welcome back, with the sun showing up. So this is, yeah, lots of power that you're stepping into right now. Honing in on your masculine energy and your creative energy as well. This card here says your ideals, comparisons, and expectations are fueling regret and guilt. Stop obsessing over a past decision. If anything, that would be something that would potentially hold you back from stepping into this bright, vibrant power that Archangel Metatron is trying to assist you in stepping into your own power, and it's brand new. So any past mistakes, any people who have tried to take advantage of your power, that is in the past, and that's something that you've learned from, to respect your own power and to really use it as fuel to let that inspiration drive you, and so that you can shine, be your brightest star. Because when you're your brightest, I think the world truly benefits. So I'm just going to leave all those up here and get into the tarot. Inspiring messages from Archangel Metatron. Lots of, so if you do any sort of spell work, any sort of energy work, use your solar plexus as a power source. The star, I just mentioned the star, so that's really powerful. The star, this is big. You want something big, and you might have felt held back in that before, like, and all these cards are falling to the floor, so this is really important. You know, with Judgment and the star, this is your calling, this is your life purpose that's coming forth here, and you have the support. We also have Archangel Gabriel showing up. We have the star, lots of Five of Wands, and I think, okay, so when it comes to this card that said your ideals, comparisons, and expectations are fueling regret, I think the regret comes also from other people's. These are other people's expectations, and they've been driving you, and you've been trying to play the game of being small, but you're immense. You're an immensely powerful being, and I think you're starting to realize just how powerful you are, and that you've had really wild and big dreams that seemed unrealistic, but you have the fuel to make that happen. And this is about stepping into that, allowing that energy to actually go through you, through inspired action, in a balanced way, because, you know, the star, we have the two vessels being poured out there, but we have the Knight of Cups. This movement does come from the heart. That's why you'll have the support and the ability to move through with relative ease, I would say. Let's get clarification though. But I think you're just kind of exhausted from other people trying to influence you in some way. I think that's why solar plexus work, if you haven't done it, would be really powerful, like soul retrieval, that sort of thing. Clearing the solar plexus regularly, especially for you, since you're so powerful and you. I wouldn't be surprised if people told you there was a certain strength to you that you come across as strong, and it's an energy that you have within you. I think this Five of Wands could have actually helped made that stronger. It's kind of like the pressure creates strength, and that might have been what has happened to you in a lot of ways. So your past experiences have not been in vain, but it's also a time to move forward. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So a lot of this forward motion is kind of interesting though, because the two figures, hopefully you can see them, the star and the Judgment are facing to my left, and then the Knights are moving to the right. And then we have the Five of Wands, so maybe those Knights were other people. I just get that feeling that there's this movement, people coming towards you, offering you things. You have everything you need. Support, you have your own love, and you could fuel yourself, and maybe there's just a hint of codependency in the past that people might still try, like friends, family, might still try and guilt trip into, yeah, guilt is one of the words there, guilt trip into having you feel bad about being able to be independent and follow this massive dream that no one could have foreseen. Now we're getting a lot of court cards. Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, you have to clarify these, and the Tower. Let's clarify this bottom row. The Lovers. Knight of Pentacles. You know, part of this new beginning, part of this creative endeavor has to do with a partner. And maybe you've had a lot of life lessons from that. The inspiration comes that has not been a waste of your time, that this relationship could have been, kind of feels twin flamey in that it really helped you know what you wanted. You know, I think maybe for some of you, you didn't know which direction you wanted to go. You didn't really know not just your life purpose, but who you wanted to be and what mark you wanted to leave in the world. And I think a relationship might have helped you with that in a way, kind of reflect who you are back to you. And it might have been difficult sometimes. It's not like just with the Tower being here, it might have been difficult sometimes. The Lovers definitely feels very much Adam and Eve like, but you've always had angelic support. You know, with the Judgment, the Wings, angels here. You know, Archangel Raziel with wisdom and Judgment. So you've always had the support through all of that, and that knowing is part of what builds your strength and confidence too. It's like, oh, well, they were always there, even though. So now when something, you know, if there was a Tower moment coming, you're like, oh, well, I didn't need any of that anyway. Not to say it's easy, but like, you're coming from a place of wisdom. We have the Queen of Wands, but with the Nine of Pentacles here, and the Empress underneath the Page of Wands. You've grown a lot. You've grown a lot. Look at how these are mirroring each other. Do you see this? I'll show this up here, just in case that video cuts off. But you see this? That is so cool. Two completely different, you know. Upgrade, that's what it sounds like. Upgrade, and the ability to transmute as well. You know, all this work you've put in, you could also use it to do anything, really. It's not just about material success, it's about expression. And I think this Empress energy that you embody is why you've had so many potential romantic partners or friends come to you offering you things, even though you don't need anything. You've come to a point where that codependency just isn't necessarily necessary, but people just like your energy, because again, you're like the sun. You're extremely bright, extremely vibrant. Let's look at what this Tower's about. The Emperor. Okay. I mean, we have the Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. I mean, the Lovers, this is feeling a lot like a love relationship, to be honest, or at least one in the past, or one that's coming that's very powerful. Maybe the Emperor kind of shakes things up, though. So, of course, this is a collective reading. This will depend on where you are. For some of you, the Emperor is the one who had to go. Even though they're like your divine counterpart, you realize that, well, my goals don't align with this person. And even if they are my twin flame, and there's a lot of hype and this about, you know, I want to meet my soulmate, you're more interested in pursuing your dreams. And that's kind of what came crumbling down, and you're just kind of bulldozing forward. The other way to look at it, though, is kind of the opposite, where the Emperor kind of bulldozes your Nine of Pentacles and Empress, where it's just all you, it's all you, and now there's this other person who could support you, but it's also kind of breaking down some of your walls that you've put up with time just because you've attracted so many people. But this is definitely Metatron energy, I'll say, that you already embody, and I would say that he's probably been already present with you with the Empress, just because you've been so vibrant for most of your life, and now you're at this point where you recognize your own vibrancy. I'm gonna need some tea. Sorry. It's cold. Oh no. Alright. So you have big dreams of being seen by a lot of people. I think you have the potential to do that as long as you keep moving forward. The tower moment already happened. There's no sense dwelling on it, which you may do from time to time. It's not that present, but it's kind of here, being hinted at. Yeah, there's just a lot of potential here, a lot of potential. And you already know which way to go. I think you enjoy traveling, you allow yourself to wander to the next place. There's a lot of confidence about you. And that attracts people. So let's see from let's see, what's the time like? I have no idea. Okay. Just a couple messages from Archangel Metatron, in terms of, because you have all this big energy, you have big dreams, you have big goals, you have a new dawn coming, but how can you ground this into reality? How could it, especially since the Empress and the Emperor here, Nine of Pentacles, you already have a lot of grounded potential about you, so how could we higher perspective and get wild? Maybe that's what the Emperor, it's kind of interesting, because I think of the Emperor as one who kind of like does the landscaping, and the Empress is kind of like the trees. It's interesting that he's the tower, because that might feel like a tower moment to you when there's someone who brings so much structure into your life. I'll show you these cards because I don't think they're very clear. It says get wild and perspective. It's interesting, the Judgment card with Judgment and the Lovers, and even this new dawn, there's a lot of angelic perspective as well, and I think part of this has to do with acknowledging that there are other ways to get to where you want to go, and changing your perspective can allow you to be a little more loose. You know, you might be the Emperor, actually, where there's only one way to your big dream, your inspiration, and that might have kept you a little rigid, and it's almost like this Empress or Emperor. I'm just going to keep alternating because it just depends on your situation, but it kind of breaks that down. It's like, just go. That's why there's two nights as well. Just trust that you've had this angelic guidance constantly, and that isn't changing, so you could know that where you're going is safe, and that there's a lesson for you in it. And that's actually how you're going to kind of solidify this dream into reality, make it physical, is through wandering and trusting and not getting stuck in the headspace. There's no swords here, so that's something to keep in mind. If you find yourself in that swords energy, that's really not your energy. We have more King of Pentacles, Six of Wands. I think you either want a lot of attention or you've had it. Like the Nine of Wands. This is very... I'm going to move these cards out so you can see them. Actually, I'll just show them to you real quick. And there is this natural balance of light and dark energy. I'm not very organized. I don't have to apologize. But it's all about moving forward and feeling grounded enough to be confident in your movement. We have 2 nines here and the Knight of Swords. Possible Leo and animal spirit guides. But it's all about how do you wield this solar powered energy that you have, this inspiration, this fire. You have a lot of fire. This is probably Aries, Leo, Sagittarius strongly in your chart somewhere, or at least that's what you're stepping into, because it's all about how you wield this, how you utilize it to move forward your goal. Because now, I don't know, just that level of focus that you have, it could be limiting in a way, but it's also really good. Because if you get lost, you just look at the North Star and you just know, it's like this balance of freedom and structure at the same time, and I think that's something you're finding within yourself. If this Emperor-Empress thing doesn't make sense to you, it's just that's you, and you're finding that balance between both of those so that you could navigate and move through inspiration in your life. It's very powerful. This is a really cool reading, I gotta say, for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe if you enjoy this sort of thing, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello and welcome, pile 2 to your reading. I have your blue calcite stone here. And again, these are going to be inspiring messages from Archangel Metatron, helping you live your life purpose, helping you shine your light, helping you feel confident in taking action on your inspiration. So I already have a few oracle cards laid out. We're going to look at these, and straight away, very different from pile 1 in terms of your strength, and that's for you is your heart center. Lots of reasons for that. I mean, we have 2 cards that are very green, so that's where your healing energy comes from. We have the signs with the bird. It says from spirit with love, so many of you will be able to listen to birds, communicate with birds telepathically. You could actually kind of gauge spirits or spirit guides or ancestor, like what they think of what you're thinking based on when you hear certain types of birds as the thought comes in. Yeah. Try it if you haven't already. Definitely works though. We have creation, expansion in your life, so that's something that you want to do, especially now. With part of this inspiration is just this strong desire to express yourself. And with the bird being here, I'll say that it's also kind of throat chakra. You have this desire to speak and be heard, and that's kind of what your creative force is all about. And then we have the rose pink dragon, so it says prepares your heart to connect with the highest facets of the cosmic heart. So really it's that expression of what's deep down in here being expressed vocally somehow through your voice, and that's really Archangel Metatron is trying to say that you are heard and your heart can be heard, and that it's safe to share that. You might have had to guard your heart in the past because people are almost threatened by it in a way, take advantage of it. they don't understand. It's like when people look at a flower and they just step on it because they, I don't know, they just look at something nice and want to destroy it sometimes. And this card here says, some people will violate your emotional boundaries with the intent to get a reaction or exert control. Avoid engaging in reaction-seeking behavior. I just want to show you this card up here real quick. It's almost like there is a shield around you. It's interesting that you chose this stone as well, because it's blue, so expressing as well. Expressing, saying, hey, I know what you're trying to do. It's kind of sad. I feel for you. But I'm also not going to just stand and allow it to happen. So let's get some more words from Archangel Metatron about this. Some of you might want to sing, speak publicly. Nine of Pentacles showing up again. But it is something that you could make money from, so you don't have to worry about it. Lord, here we go. It always happens, doesn't it? The Fool, Nine of Pentacles, Judgment, Four of Wands. Get one more. Let's move these over. I think part of you want to make a career out of this, but it also doesn't seem like something that can happen. So there's a little bit of hesitation. That might be something that causes you to not speak from your heart, not share your truth. It might be something that prevents you from creating from the heart center. Interesting, Four of Wands is Aries and Venus under the Eight of Swords. So that's kind of a clarification for what I just said, right? Where sometimes you hold yourself back from speaking, hold yourself back from being free, which the Judgment card is in the middle. The angel wings are spread out, yeah. And of course, this angel is Archangel Gabriel with the horn. You can't really keep that quiet, and that's something maybe you are learning or you have learned, is that the reason why your heart wants to sing and you want to speak and you chose this blue stone, this expression, is because you've acquired a lot of wisdom and the world needs to hear it. And because maybe people have tried to put you down because they don't understand it, there's an audience for you. Especially with the Four of Wands, there's people who have the same fiery passion that you have, and by putting your fiery heart out there, people will find warmth in it. The Fool and Nine of Pentacles are, I don't know if you can see it, there we go. They're facing the same direction. Actually, all three of these are facing the same direction. It's also kind of balancing self-care for nurturing others. I think that's a balance you've had to find for yourself. Let's just get another row of these. And there might be kind of this tug of war going on where you want to be free and explore the world, but you also want a place to call home. And that home is something you could find within yourself. With the Seven of Wands with the Fool. Okay, so this is big, I think. Seven of Wands and the Fool together. Because the Seven of Wands, I always think of the song, spoiler alert, it's kind of like a teaser for something coming later, but I think of the song Stand Up and Shout by Dio. And you gotta hear it because it's kind of awesome. But that's kind of the thing that I feel. It's like you have wings of steel, but they never really move you. You only seem to crawl, and there's this point where you just get up and shout and like, okay, that's enough. I don't all this insecurity of other people trying to attack your heart and make you feel down, you've probably attracted a lot of that because of the strength of your heart. And this is specifically kind of Venus in Aries is what I'm feeling. Like that's a really powerful placement if you have it, or that's just an energy you're stepping into now. Like it could have attracted the wrong people. And part of this has to do, I think, also with is this still going? This other camera's new, so I'm still playing with it. Anyway, where you want to be free, you want to do things that are unorthodox in terms of making money through your voice. And there's going to be, of course, people like, you can't, this is not reality, you have to get a normal job and be average, and that makes you feel binding. That's not your energy, and you know that. So part of this is allowing yourself to blossom and trust in that process. So you're opening up. I visualize like a heart and a flower slowly blossoming. So it might have felt like it's taken some time, but it is happening. And then we have the sunflowers too, paving the way for the future. And I think through your blossoming, you'll help others who are blossoming too, and going after big things. This is Archangel Metatron, which there's nothing subtle or quiet about any of this. This is, you want to achieve big things, you want to be bright, and in order to do that you have to be bright. It's kind of, that's how it is really. It's like with this creation card, the number 3, the sun gives life. It is creation in a way, just by being. It's not trying to impress anything. It doesn't care. There's other stars. They're bright, and it's very simple. It's just energy that's flowing out, and it's giving life to other things. And I think that's what you're stepping into. Okay, my back. Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, the King of Wands. Maybe this King of Wands offered you this comfort, and maybe you're still protecting your heart because of the boundaries thing that we got from this blue card over here. Some people will try and violate your emotional boundaries, so there's this hesitation if this King of Wands is someone that can be trusted. It seems like, if this resonates, it seems like you can, because it's Venus and Aries as well. It's very genuine. It's more of whether or not you feel secure enough within yourself to accept that. With 9 of Pentacles and the King, I just want to clarify these two before we move on to grounding this Page of Cups. The Emperor. What's up with this Emperor showing up everywhere? He has the same facial features. It's like copy and paste. It's like a counterbalance to your Fool energy. This lighthearted, free-flowing, bird-like blossoming. It's nice to have a protector, and that could be in the form of a partner, but it could also be in the form of yourself, that sometimes you transform into the Emperor, where you put like a pretty firm boundary down when needed, but you'll have to take that how it resonates depending on your situation. But to allow inspiration to guide you forward, and that'll help you fly. That'll help you express yourself with this Queen of Pentacles. I don't know why I wanted to show you that. There's a very innocent energy about you. Right, so let's see how you could ground this into reality with Archangel Metatron. This desire to sing and explore and be big. We have the 3 of Cups, 5 of Cups, I think part of it is accepting the natural tides of life, where sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen. How centered are you within yourself throughout all of this? Your heart is vulnerable and open to the elements, just like all the other flowers are, but they end up making it for the most part, through. I live in Florida, there's hurricanes, and there's still flowers, 3 of Cups, 5 of Cups, the Death card, allowing things to end when it's time for them to end. 7 of Wands twice, so this is definitely like a power card for you. And I'm starting to think that this King of Wands and the Emperor are you, this part of you that helps stand up to some of these bad people who try and break your heart, and you've been exposed to it. You're not afraid of being exposed to it, but at the same time you are able to detect when it's coming, and you're just like, okay, no, I'm not just gonna allow this to happen by someone who's intentionally trying to hurt me. It's one thing for someone to go out to make you feel bad because they feel bad, or if it's just life happens, events happened, the weather changes, shooting stars, it's that sort of thing. Those are different, and you're discerning between those two things and growing because of it. And the Page of Swords. Let's just clarify that one. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. 5 of Pentacles. It just feels like when it comes to grounding this in reality, it's kind of similar to Pile 1 in terms of look at the relationships you've had in your life and see how these people are affecting you energetically. How is their presence in your life making it easier or harder for you to make your dreams a reality? Because if you're facing a lot of resistance, and when these people are in your life, it's you cut them off. Especially with that Page of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like sometimes there's people who try and feed into the Fool energy, which is perfectly, the Fool is one of probably the most powerful card in the deck. But if someone's trying to feed into it, and just like, you could be flighty all day and just, you'll never actually manifest anything. You'll be easier to just daydream of it all day. At the same time, someone who would just want you to work hard all day will keep you bound by society's, just work 40 hours in this mediocre job because it's safe. And you'll be just as miserable there as well. So finding that balance and being able to stand up for either one of those is a big part of manifesting this reality. We have 4 of Swords. Because of your exposure to all these people, because of your open heart, and people who come to it seeking your love and your radiance, just meditate and create space for yourself and talk to the birds. Honestly, talk to the birds, look at the flowers, do this simple stuff feeds your Fool energy, which is naturally guiding you. You're being guided very strongly by your spirit team. Okay, one more card from Archangel Metatron. Dare to Dream. Huh? Well, I mean, couldn't have picked a better card with all this. Dare to dream, yeah, definitely, but dare to grab it too. Because I don't know if you could see this. There's a talon that's grabbing this diamond. I don't know if I'd mentioned diamond, but it's kind of like that heart as well. And you dream with that 4 of Swords. This 4 of Swords right here, I'll show you. You dream when you're in nature, you dream when you're listening to the sounds, but it's also grabbing it, and grabbing it takes that Seven of Wands energy. That's when it's time to stand up and shout, as he says. So hopefully this reading was inspiring. Hopefully it's helpful. It was another beautiful reading. So thank you so much for your time and your presence here. Please comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed what you heard. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this Sunstone, this is going to be your reading. And again, these are messages of inspiration from Archangel Metatron. So helping you step into your life purpose, shine your brightest light, and empower yourself to take action, make those dreams a reality. So I have here 3 oracle cards already laid out. And I would say straight away, I think these are my teachers, philosophers, and part of what inspires you and what you're being inspired to do is to share the keys of your wisdom that you've acquired with others. You could have a connection to Sirius, of course. We have Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. And it also says leadership, answer the call, with the stairs going up. So there's this sense of ascension here. 8 being a power number, and also the infinity sign. So you could have a strong connection to that number. It's like a power number. You could have the power number 8 or birth number 8, one of those things, but also a very open crown chakra, which is where your philosophy comes from. This wisdom comes from a very wide open crown chakra, and you're being asked to look. They're both holding keys. That's interesting. I don't know if you could see it in that camera. Let me see if I could zoom it in real quick. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see either way. Just trust me on that. They're both holding keys. That's fascinating. You could have a connection to Archangel Raziel as well. I think it's like the Archangel of Wisdom and Secrets, more specifically. So you hold a key to a lot of people's lives and to the world. And part of this is trusting, having the strength within yourself to know that you are needed and your philosophy is needed, and that your wisdom has a place in this world. And we have this card here that says learning to be assertive will help you to reinforce healthy boundaries in dominant relationships. We'll notice here that there's this wall. So there could be people who kind of challenge what you have to teach, and maybe part of what you have to share with the world is those boundaries, is learning when to not just speak up for yourself, but know when there's some sort of the words somewhere. I know what the word is, but I can't say it right now. So I'm just gonna continue. It'll probably come up later anyway. So yeah. Words of inspiration from Archangel Metatron, inspiring message. Most of this inspiration so far is that you are someone who benefits from learning, enjoys learning, and that's kind of a passion of yours, and that it does lead to something. And not to doubt your own wisdom, because maybe there have been people who are insecure, who've tried to put you down for your beliefs. That's silly. We have the Five of Pentacles. That kind of, in a way, clarifies what I just said, because the Five of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus. Let me just check this battery because that doesn't look. No rush, I guess. But on this one too, the Fool. Yeah, because Five of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus, and that's kind of like, I don't know if those are. It's like Taurus might not always be the best at expressing themselves, and that could be something that has held you back, or it could be others who can express themselves and kind of try and bring you down. With the Fool being here, though, it's interesting because this Five of Pentacles is facing the window, facing the church. So they're well aware of the options in front of them. It's like being unafraid of having less than most people. And that's what the Fool's about, just carrying their little bag. You don't need much. You have wisdom. You have your mind. It's incredibly sharp. And that's enough to get you to where you need to go. And that scares people. It does. The High Priestess, there's that wisdom. Look at that. Incredibly intuitive pile. And we could also see with the eye above the head. That's a clear sign of having your third eye open. And she's holding a book. I mean, usually I think it's the Torah that the High Priestess holds, but this is a book, so it could be applied to pretty much anything that you benefit very strongly from learning. But it's kind of a mix. It's not just reading books. It's merging that information with information from the higher realms and kind of formulating your own philosophies and creating your own really ways of seeing the world. And you'll notice that these two pillars are up, so that's also reinforcing the need to keep the boundaries up as well. It's like guard your wisdom as well. Not everyone can access it. That's why it's like esoteric. It's occult knowledge. The common person just doesn't know what to do with that. It's not to say that they're beneath anyone else, but they rather, live simple lives. We have the Page of Swords. So you definitely have this thirst, and that's where your inspiration comes from, is learning new things. And let's clarify this word. Learning new things. How could you apply this new wisdom? How can you? This Judgment card has been in every single pile. So talk about life purpose. This has been a life purpose reading in a lot of ways, But it comes, like, I have a different life purpose reading, but this is in a more roundabout way, where it's just inspiration. That's how you find your life purpose. Is feeling this like your blood is thumping. I don't know. It's like pulsating. It's like this makes me feel good, so I'm gonna keep doing it. That's all it is. And that's the Judgment card is being a fool to a lot of people. Where it's like, what you're saying just doesn't make sense. This is what the world is. That's what most human beings can only accept, the reality that's in front of them, because it's safe. It's like, can you imagine 50, 100 years ago what people would have thought with all the, Twitter and Instagram and flying and all this? They would, maybe not flying, but the influence of social media, the amount of things that we have in our pocket, they'd be like, that's an impossibility, that cannot be. And so you're doing that for what's to come, like this. I'm not afraid of this. I used to think, I still do, that we have the ability to teleport and fly. We haven't tapped in yet, and I know that sounds absurd, but I know it, so I don't really care. But it's that sort of thing where it doesn't seem like it's possible until someone figures it out. And it's all about a collective energy as well. As we all raise our vibrations, who knows what the future holds? Ace of Swords. This is very strong intellect here. Very strong mind. This is a very strong Yeah, that's what your power is. It's cool that each pile has had a different strength. I won't spoil the others if you want to check those out, but very distinct, very sharp differences in each pile. Probably more so in this reading than most of my other ones. And that's where you get your crown, so you have a connection to... Okay. We're just checking this because my thing is dying. There's still time. But it's also writing, so part of this is not... The only word of caution would be not to absorb too much. You have to share it. This is part of your life purpose, and if you ever feel lethargic or uninspired, it could be because you're withholding too much of that information, whether it be from books or just from channeling. When you get that, share it with somebody. It doesn't matter. And part of the thing with the boundaries is that you'll intuitively know who could handle that sort of information, who's just going to try and put you down. I'm not going to call out any people that I know, but certainly know those types of people, and they're just trying to overcompensate for something. We have the King of Cups too. This King of Cups could be another person. It could be like a friendship or a relationship, and it's like a balance to all of the air that you have. You have a lot of this intelligence here, and you also have a Jester with the Two of Pentacles and the Fool, showing like you can't possibly channel everything all at once. So it's kind of like shifting the focus between different subjects and then moving on to something else. So while there's a lot of inspiration in this pile, it's also being able to focus it, and I think that's something Archangel Sandalphon is going to say. Oh, play. I lied. With the dolphins here. That's what this King of Cups is here for. He's bringing play into your life. So if this is a person, and it seems like way out of... I mean, honestly, this King of Cups doesn't belong in this reading whatsoever. But there he is. And he's there to remind you of the heart. Like, don't forget about the heart center. Don't forget about joy for the sake of joy. It doesn't... That's actually probably where he gets his wisdom from. This King of Cups gets his wisdom from being silly, and that's where his channeling, and it could open up a new way of receiving and giving information, giving and sharing this wisdom with the world. It's enough of that. Let's just get some more tarot from Archangel Sandalphon in terms of grounding. And that's interesting. The play is grounding. Be creative and explore. We have the Ace of Cups. So that's interesting. That transition there, right? From all the swords and pentacles, judgment, fool. And now we're getting to cup energy when it comes to manifesting it into your life, making it a reality, bringing that light from Keter into Malkut. And that's where Sandalphon is coming in. It's like, don't overlook the importance of play and the importance of being curious, the importance of following your heart, allowing that to navigate your body, because that could happen as well with the mind caught daydreaming, caught philosophizing alone, but maybe it's the cups that brings you to a group of people who will listen. Page of Cups, look at that. That's remarkable. And it's not just the cups, but there's an ace and a page. Two new, this is brand new energy. Twofold. Ace and a page of cups, where it's just a new way. So that might be a shift that may come to you, is a new way of expressing this wisdom. And it could be a surprise. Spoiler alert. Like a surprise. Then that could be your life purpose that you didn't know was there. And the High Priestess showing up again twice. strong connection to the moon. And the moon is, of course, a guiding force for water. So all these things are coming together, and I think you might be finding that bridge as you ascend, that there's just this unexpected connection and turn in your life that's gonna... I'm kind of excited to see how it manifests itself. But we have the Six of Pentacles, which is balance. So we go from the Five of Pentacles we saw earlier, right? So, not all of you, but some of you might have had just not doing as well financially as you felt you could have, especially if you wanted to travel with the Two of Pentacles there. It's like you have to choose between this or that, and there's this part of you that doesn't want to choose. This is not a full energy of having to choose. You just do, and it's fine. And the way to get from here to here is actually through play. It's kind of like a secret code. And I say it a lot, I'm not gonna lie. I know I say it a lot, but it's very much obvious in this reading that the importance of play is where you'll be able to actually receive what you deserve for your wisdom, in terms of material wealth, in terms of recognition as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know how I did, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.